Hello you beautiful internet people, my name is Gecko and welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing something once again that I haven't done in quite a long time, and that is showing you guys some cool command stuff that I've been up to. Now if you were observant enough, you might have noticed this huge billboard behind me that says Snake. And well, yeah, that says exactly what I did. I created the good old game of Snake inside of Minecraft. So a quick run through for those of you who are unaware of what Snake is. Basically it's this old Nokia game from back in the good old days where, well, you're a snake and you kind of move around and have to eat these fruits, and each time you eat something your snake gets a little bit longer, and then the challenge is to not collide with yourself or with the wall while eating as much as possible. So I'm going to start out by giving you a quick demonstration of how the game works and how it plays, and then I'll get into some explanations on how the commands work, but I won't be doing command for command, I'll just be giving you a brief explanation of how I got this thing to work. Okay, so it's really simple. All that we did is we walked onto this little platform over here, and once you're inside of here, well, you can't really escape. You'll be constantly teleported back to here. If you want to get out of this room, just break this glass block beneath you and you can fly through it. But yeah, otherwise you'll just get teleported back into place. So yeah, that's enough talking for now. Let's get into some action. So if we press this button, then we should hear that sound and the game of Snake starts. So over there is our snake, and then you can see me moving around, and basically that's how you control this thing. If we walk forward, the snake goes forward. If you walk left or right, sorry, we walk right, and if you walk down, then you guess it, the snake will walk down, and so that is how you control it. And I even went above and beyond and included some sound effects. So if we eat this fruit, you can hear there is a sound effect for that. And also there on the right hand side of the screen, you can see my current score is being displayed, as well as my high score. Now since I didn't have a previous high score, my current score became the high score, so I'll show you a bit later on how the high score changes. Now this game has it all. Even it has the collision when colliding with the wall, and it even has detect when you collide with yourself. So let's eat this last fruit, and then I'm going to go ahead and collide with myself. So as you can see, the sound effects plays and we die, and we even get a little animation of our tail disappearing. Now you can see on the right side of my screen it shows my high score and what my current score was when I died. Now should we start again, you can see my current score has resetted to 0, and now the high score does stay. And now whenever we beat that high score, it will replace the high score with the new high score. I can't believe that I just explained the mechanics of high score to you guys, honestly. Oh, and I died. Never talk and play at the same time, I guess. See, I'm just going to play some more while I talk about a bit how I made this. In my head, I knew exactly how this thing should have worked, but I just couldn't really get it to work the way that I wanted it to work. Since the way that the movement works is that what will happen is we move the head in whatever direction it is facing, and that's why, as you can see, when I make it move up or left or whatever, the head will rotate. And then basically all that I do is I teleport the head one block in the direction that it is looking. Now that works great, but you can't really do that with the rest of the body, because if you haven't noticed, the tail remains where it was previously, and so the logic of making it move and then rotate when it needs to rotate would have been too complex to do, and so I settled for something else. What I was going to do was delete the last bit of the tail and then just add a new segment behind the head, and that way I could create this kind of rigid animation and still have a pretty solid movement. Now, the way that I explained that it's actually a lot simpler than what it actually did turn out being. And I struggled for a few hours to make it, but eventually I did get it to work. And the thing that was weird is that for some reason the scoreboard's commands seem to behave differently when inside of a function file as opposed to being inside of a command block, and so that caused quite a bit of an issue, and that's why eventually I settled for making a command cube like that instead of making it inside of just function files. Now I still do use function files. I have 2 of those. Now for those of you who don't know, a function file is basically just another way of making commands. Instead of typing the command into a command block, you type it into a text file, and then the game will also detect it as a command and run it. But the perk of having a function file as opposed to having a command block is that function files can have more than one command in them, and so you can run a bunch of commands instantly at the same time as opposed to having a tick delay between each one of them. So I promised you guys a command explanation, so I'm going to do my best to give you a quick rundown of how it works. So we have this head. Now this head, basically there's a really simple one-line command that allows you to teleport an entity in the direction that it is looking. Like I pointed out, I couldn't do this for the tail. So the way that the tail works is... I'm struggling to talk and to play the game at the same time. I don't know how. But yeah, the way that the tail works is each one of these tail elements or segments has a scoreboard, and then each time it moves one forward, there gets one added to the scoreboard of those tail segments. And then we have another command that deletes the armor stand with the highest scoreboard, and that armor stand would be the one that is at the very end. Now I knew I had to do something like that, but getting it to actually work is what was the main issue. Now the way that the movement works is basically I have a command that checks beneath these armor stands if there is a player there. If a player is beneath those armor stands, then we move or we rotate the head part of the snake in a specific direction while teleporting the player back to this position. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I know this video was a bit shorter and different than what I usually do, but hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like and to subscribe if you are new around here. And if you want to get your hands on this world, I will leave a download in the description for you guys. But thanks for watching, and I will see all of you again in the future with a brand new video. Cheers!